Alrighty, so the next step that we need to do is to put in the purlins. And the purlins, which are these things right here, are what run the full length of the high tunnel. And so there'll be one that'll run in the peak, another one that'll be 4 feet down from that that'll run the length, another one 4 feet down from that that'll run the length, and then it'll be the same thing on the other side. And that just connects all of the arches, all of the bows together. Now, I think as you can see, these purlin pieces, they're kind of necked down just a little bit down at the one end, so they fit into each other. So what we need to do before we can start installing these things is we're going to make a little spacer, a little gauge. And what we're going to do for that is we'll cut a notch into here, and then another one down at the right length at the other end. And then we can just set that on top of 2 of the arches, and that'll hold them at the right space apart from each other, so that when we're clamping our purlin piece to the arches are at the right distance apart. Alright, well, as you can see, we've got a good bit of this first one done. I'm on the second to last segment. Still got a few more left to put on here. Those braces down there, those are just kind of loosely attached. And then I've got one more section left to put on the end, and this one going right down the ridge will be done. This has been going in pretty easily. It's not really fast, but it's not too bad to put in. I can get one section in, and you can kind of see there's a joint right here, and so I get to the last one, and then for the next section I can go down so that I'm not all the way to the end, but I can set the ladder up in between here, and then I can pretty easily connect these 2 in together. I can slip the one inside the other. I can pop on a couple of those braces there so that holds that side up, move the ladder back down here, and now I can put a screw in through the joint so that doesn't pull apart. I can put a brace on there, and then I can move my gauge to the next section, put the connectors on there to hold that on there, and then I can move back down to that section again, tighten those up, well, move my gauge down, tighten that one up, move the gauge down, tighten that one up, and then wash, rinse, and repeat. So like I said, it's not really hard, it just takes a little while to do. Alrighty, so last night we got the center purlin going all the way down through the peak of the high tunnel. So the next step is to start working on the ones that kind of come down the slope a little bit. So we're going to have one that's about 4 feet down from the peak, and then another one that's another 4 feet or 8 feet total down from the peak, and then that'll be repeated on the other side. Now, I've been giving some thought to how to try doing this as efficiently as possible, and I think what I'm going to try doing is doing both of these that run down the side at the same time. That way, instead of going from end to end doing just one, I'll be able to kind of just move the ladder back and forth between the 2, and then move it down, and then move it back and forth between the 2, move it down. I think it might be a little bit faster. We'll give it a go, see how it works, and then hopefully we'll know how we want to do the second side. But before we can start on that, we got to grab our purlin rods, get them all laid out. I'll try getting them kind of tucked up in there so that they're easily accessible, and then we can start getting them hung up and in place. Well, that took about an hour to get all of the purlins laid out for this side, as well as get the first section in for both of these side runs through here. Hopefully the rest of them will start going a little faster. The first one's a bit hard because You have to get the ends all lined up, matched up just right, and then these actually get screwed into the arch. The rest of these just kind of have a clamp that hooks onto them, so they're a little bit easier to do. So hopefully these next sections going down through here should take a little bit less time, hopefully. All right, well that is that half of them done. Well, actually I guess it's a little over half because if we're counting the middle one as well, but 2 more left to go on this side and we'll have all the purlins wrapped up for this. With a little bit of luck and maybe a headlamp later on, we'll get these finished off today. Alrighty folks, well that is going to be it for this time. Next time we'll be working on the baseboards. Those kind of run along the bottom of the ground anchors along the lengths of the high tunnel. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. As always, I appreciate you guys watching and I will see you next time.